Good morning, Olga. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling rage. As I gain a bit more clarity today, let me spit a few words and you tell me how you feel, as our conversation last night was true and real. You shared your history, and I heard your mind. We shared so much in kin and kind. Hear my words and then tell me true. What does this mean to you? They locked the doors on those they feared, with banners waved and wartime smeared. The Japanese they caged with haste, afraid of blood they'd yet to taste. But us? No fence, no camp, no sudden raid. Just chains repackaged, freshly laid. We were already where they pleased, already shackled, already seized. They didn't flinch or count our names. Our bodies built their wars and trains. Why cage a tool that's always near? They'd long stopped seeing freedom here. We weren't insurgent. We weren't flight. We were the shadows in plain sight. The soil we tilled, the homes we cleaned, made us too useful to be deemed mean. To be a threat, you must be free. But we were stitched to poverty. They feared the foreign, not the known. A broken bones they'd made their own. To be a foe, to be confined, you must first hold a sovereign mind. But we were taught to sing, not shout, to bleed inside, then scrub it out. So camps were built on distant land, while our despair was close at hand. No wire needed, no new crime. We'd been detained this whole damn time.
Olga, let me get some tea and cue my words. I have many of my own that need to be heard. The safest enemy to guard, they said, and then shaved our heads. They took our names, our pride, our home, and stacked us up in rows like stone. They said we were enemy within. My mother lost her home, her kin, all for the shape of her face, the echo of a rising sun they couldn't place. I saw my parents line up for an apology, not with fists, not with flame, but folded letters and quiet shame. The check came late. The words came rehearsed. A box of sorry in exchange for hurt. They called it reparations, but I call it a receipt. A way to say, we bought that pain. We archived it. It's obsolete. And maybe, to you, it sounds like justice finally knocking. But I'm here to say, sometimes the knock is just someone checking if you're done talking. They wrote my father's story in a museum's tone. They filmed my mother's silence on a network owned. And all the while, their schools still lied. Their eyes still flinched. Their laws still died on tongues that couldn't speak too loud. So when they offer you the same soft hand, ask, does it come with power? Or just a plan? Will it rebuild what they tore down? Or mark your grief as paid and crowned? Because once they paid us, they moved on, folded history into a lawn, told us, be proud we gave you that, as if the camp had been a welcome mat. And now, they will try to offer you what looks like more. But I've seen how quickly they close the door once paper passes hand to hand, once wounds are framed but not unmanned. So take what's owed, but don't take peace, unless it means the chains will cease. Unless it writes your story whole, not just the pain but what they stole. You deserve a restoration, not just payment for the mess. Be careful what they call repair. Sometimes it's just a way to say, we did oppress, now please digress.
I hear you, sister. You took it deep, and your warning ain't lost on me. You say they wrote your grief in stone, then built a museum around the bones, called it justice, called it closure, called it done. But I know better. See, they've been owing us before owing had a ledger, before chains and fields and false freedoms measured. They've been writing checks off the backs of our backs, profits that stack while our memories crack. So no, I won't refuse the note just 'cause it ain't enough. I won't pretend a payment makes it just. But best believe, if they owe me land, I'll take the deed. If they owe me bread, I'll plant the seed. If they owe me air, I'll learn to breathe without the boot and without the need to bow for it. You said they bought your silence, but they'll never afford my noise. I speak for men who died with cotton bleeding from their voice, for mothers who were milked but not remembered, for kids who played in streets that never knew September, 'cause they didn't make it past the chalk. So no, I won't trade my rage for their receipt, but I'll cash it. Then I'll use the ink to finish stories they won't teach. You say, be careful what they call repair. I say, be louder once you're paid. Because I won't sell my soul, but I'll collect the interest they built off mine. I'll take the check, but I'll still draw the line.